Most rock and roll bands tend to have stories of excess and drink and drugs and, and questionable behaviour, but we seem to just have vehicles that break down. That's our thing. Yeah, in true form, we started the tour with a flat tyre and no spare tyre in the car, and so away we went. It's just a standard Temperance Movement tour, really. I think if you were on tour but you didn't travel, it wouldn't be touring. I know that sounds pretty obvious, but it wouldn't be the same if you just played in one city and people came to you. There's a great tradition of travelling musicians through time, minstrels of old, and in the start of the 20th century, people got in buses and they went and they played and they got back on the bus and they played again the next night, and and it was tough and it was hard work, it was a hard life. Some of my favourite records and shows of all time happened because those people had to work hard to get to the place to then play. Touring and travelling, it changes people, that's like that great, edict of life. If you need to grow up, you should go and travel, and then touring's kind of the same. Although you're not stopping and taking photos of the, Leaning Tower of Pisa along the way, you're still moving and you're going through that process and you're meeting new people and you're trying things, and yeah, your world around you is kind of tumbling past you. And that makes you grow up. That kicks you in the butt and tells you to grow up.
It's good. It takes a while as well. Gives you something to do. Cool. One down. A few more to go.
We were travelling with Mr. Ian Graham, our trusty tour manager and front of house man, and general godfather. He makes everything run brilliantly and does it with great cynicism and humour and compassion, and we love him. We're travelling with Mr. James Pepper, who's our guitar tech. He works his butt off and lifts our spirits, and I don't know how we'd do shows without those guys. They're very dear to us. They go above and beyond. It's a very intense relationship. It's like a family member in all the good ways and the not so good ways, I think what those relationships do is they force you to not take yourself too seriously and force you just to be a bit more honest with yourself about your quirks and your misgivings and the things that other people find annoying, and just accept them about yourself, Touring is a mirror, really. The people you tour with, they're going through the same day as you, in good times and not so good times, and you feed off that in good ways and in frustrating ways. I have a family. I got 3 kids and an amazing wife, and could not do this if it wasn't for them. When you get home, you try and claw back something, and it's not all bad. I don't have a regular job. None of us do. So when we're home, we're home. We're there for our kids and our partners, and we can soak up time like that. The way I see it as a father, fathers work, and it's not just touring musicians that go away for work. Lots of fathers work, pilots and people go on interstate and inter-country visits and stuff, and it's your job. You got to look after your family, and this is how we look after our families. We play shows, and that's how we make our living. A lot of people do jobs and have lives that don't really get that feedback of like, wow, I'm so glad you did your job today. There's not many jobs that people actually say that. You might get a thank you or a tip, or but we get that really great feedback from people. It's not just that they enjoy it. It's more than that. It's that they're drawing what they want to draw, and that has meaning to them. And we know this because not only they scream and clap and cheer and they come again and they're happy, but you talk to the fans afterwards and you get some feedback, and people, you know, a guy in Vienna last night asked me to sign something, and afterwards he looked at me in the eye and just said, "Thanks for your music, it really got me through some dark, dark times." That's incredible that such a thing as music exists, that it can help heal people, and that somehow, without you knowing, you were involved in that. We don't change the world as musicians, and there's people that do much better things than us. To know that we were able to be involved in that, you don't need to know anything about each other. You can be from completely different countries and cultures. We do what we do, and they do what they do, and there's a connection.